we need to talk about Will Grigg. If you're a fan of the EFL, you probably know who he is. He scored a bunch of goals during his time at Wigan, and he also had probably one of the most famous chants in English football history. But now he seems to have disappeared and is playing football in the National League for Chesterfield FC. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the career of Will Grigg, and how a record-breaking £3 million deal caused his career to drastically decline. And as always, if you do enjoy this video, then do leave a like, as it helps push it out to a wider audience. And also let me know in the comments, what do you think about the Will Grigg situation? How do you think he's going to get his playing career back on track? Whatever it is, put it down in the comments, and yeah, let's crack on with the video. Will Grigg's career started at Walsall, and after building his way up to become a regular starter for the club, he was able to show his talent during the 2012-13 season. This caught the attention of fellow League One side Brentford, who signed him during the summer window on a 4-year deal. However, Grigg didn't have the first season for his new club that he wanted, and due to injuries and getting played out of position, he only scored 5 goals in 36 appearances for Brentford. The next season he was loaned out to League One side MK Dons, where he managed to find his scoring form again. The Northern Irishman bagged 22 goals and 5 assists in 50 appearances, with 2 of these coming against Man United in a shock 4-0 victory. And now we come to Grigg's most successful and well-known period of his career, which was during his time at Wigan Athletic. He joined the club during the summer of 2015 after his successful loan spell at MK Dons, with Wigan hoping for him to help them make a quick return back up to the Championship after their relegation the season before. It's definitely safe to say he lived up to these expectations, scoring 28 goals with 5 assists in 43 appearances, the highest goal scoring season of his whole career. By the end of the season he'd won the League One Golden Boot, got Wigan back up to the Championship, although that didn't really last long, and he'd gone viral online for his Will Grigg's on fire chant. During the rest of his time at Wigan, he was yo-yoing between the Championship and League One, and it was clear that he really wasn't cut out for the Championship, scoring just 7 goals in 36 appearances in his second season for the club. Obviously, having your first choice striker only scoring 7 goals isn't going to be quite enough to survive, and Wigan were inevitably relegated after their first season back up in the second tier. Grigg found most of his success at Wigan while they were in League One, and the next 2 seasons were pretty much the same story, with him scoring 19 goals in 43 appearances to get Wigan promoted to the Championship. Not quite as good numbers as his first season at the club, but still quite impressive. And this was what made Will Grigg so good during his time at Wigan, his ability to consistently just score goals while he was in League One. Now, we've covered Will's rise through Walsall and MK Dons, and reaching the height of his career at Wigan, but now let's talk about where his career took a turn for the worst: Sunderland. Now, if you've seen the very successful Netflix show that was made about Sunderland, then you're familiar with the transfer of Will Grigg to the club. He signed for Sunderland during the January transfer window of 2019, with the club needing a new striker after losing top scorer Josh Maja to Bordeaux. Grigg wasn't having the best of seasons in the Championship, having only scored 4 goals in 17 appearances, but Sunderland knew Griggs' goal-scoring ability in League One, and bringing him back to where he had the most success in his career seemed like a good idea at the time. Sunderland eventually got the deal done on deadline day on the 31st, for a record-breaking deal in the 3rd Division, costing Sunderland £3 million. He joined for the second half of the season, and he practically matched his numbers during his first half while at Wigan, scoring 4 in 18 at Sunderland and 4 in 17 at Wigan. Bear in mind he's dropped down a division and he's only managed to match the numbers he got for the first half of the season, in the division where he's at his strongest. Inevitably, Sunderland were unable to get promoted. However, he's got so much experience in League One, he should have an improvement the next season once he's settled into the club. He's not even starting anymore. Will Grigg was just unable to adapt to the football at Sunderland. Changing play style and tactics, pressure of playing at such a big club getting to him, whatever it may be, Will was definitely not on fire, and he just didn't live up to his £3 million price tag. Grigg spent the first half of the 2021 season at Sunderland, where he didn't score a single goal before being loaned out to his former club MK Dons, who were also in League One, where he was hoping to regain his scoring ability. And he actually sort of did. He scored 8 goals and 3 assists in the space of 4 months, half of those coming in one single game where he scored 4 goals in a 5-0 battering of Swindon. At the end of the season, Will went back to Sunderland and was loaned out to another League One side, this one being Rotherham, where he didn't have a great first half of the season and then suffered an injury in February, which ruled him out for the rest of his time at Rotherham. Will Grigg's contract at Sunderland ran out in the summer of 2022, bringing to end a very underwhelming time up north. Grigg was now a free agent, and so for a 3rd time he joined MK Dons for the 22-23 season. And as someone who was keeping track with and following League One last season, I really had no idea Will was even playing for MK until working on this video. To be honest, it's not very surprising, as it turned out to be the 3rd time unlucky for him at MK, with him mainly coming on as a substitute and only scoring 7 goals in all competitions. By this point, Will had reached a point in his career where he was just jumping from one team to the next. And his next club? Chesterfield, the 5th tier. The main factor influencing his decision to drop down 2 divisions was because of the chance to be reunited with Mr. Random Voice Generator Paul Cook, who was his former manager during his most successful period at Wigan. But to be fair to Will, he's not had a terrible start, and at the time of recording he scored 5 goals in 12 appearances, so it seems that the reuniting of him with his former manager is working out well for him. That about wraps it up for this video. Do you think Will Grigg can get his career back on track at Chesterfield, or is he going to continue on a declining career path? Let me know in the comments and I will catch you in the next one.